All right, everybody. Welcome to the next episode of the bullshit found on SVT. SVT is Swedish state media, totally controlled and paid by the taxes of the working people in Sweden. A lot of propaganda. A lot of propaganda. And they don't like to be criticized, but it's so easy to criticize them because they're lying all the time and manipulating the citizens. Some people don't know about that there was a big accident called the Estonia accident, and it happened during the 90s. Estonia was a ship that traveled in the Baltic Sea and it mysteriously sank. And 800 people died, around a little bit more than 800 people died. But it was a huge accident. The authorities in Sweden, they did a really bad job at handling the accident. So they rescued around like 100 people, a little bit more than 100 people, and a little bit more than 800 people still were left stuck in this shipwreck, and it sank to the bottom of the sea, and they didn't do anything to rescue them. They just died. And even the Russian authorities said, we have equipment that can go down there and maybe try to rescue some survivors. But Sweden denied that. And there is evidence for this because there was a Swedish ambassador that actually said that the Russians are willing to help. But the Swedish authorities, they denied the help from the Russians, which is strange. They didn't bring the ship back from the bottom of the sea or bring the bodies back either. Instead, they just covered it with sand which they said was to stabilize the ship. Like, all right. There've been a lot of people that have privately investigated Estonia, and they were like legit people in Sweden. They had political positions. Some of them were survivors. They believed that it was a cover up, that they're covering up something and they don't know what it is. Because it's strange to let the ship sink and not do anything to recover the bodies, cover the ship up with sand. They also stated that it's illegal for a private person that is from Sweden to dive down there and do their own research because it's classified as a grave. They don't want you to disturb the dead, which is silly because if they respected the dead, you would just bring the bodies up, right? And give them a proper funeral. But they didn't want to do that. They just covered everything up and wanted everybody to forget about the incident. And to this day, a lot of the people that lost family members in that accident and people that survived the accident, they believe that it's a cover-up. They have not been treated well at all, and nobody cares about their feelings and their perspective on it. And they've seen authorities lie about the incident through the whole investigation. And it's very strange. The most important thing for any institution or state is to build trust. This has destroyed the trust. The best way to handle Estonia would be actually to lift the ship up on day one, bring the bodies and give them a good funeral, and do a proper investigation, and everything should be open, nothing should be hidden. But they have hidden a lot of things. I mean, even Titanic was better researched than this. And in Titanic, it sank in a really deep part of the sea. Like it's almost impossible to dive down there. The ship Estonia is like 100 meters. That's how deep it sank. It's not impossible to do that work. It's dangerous, but damn man, like everything is dangerous. Like every fourth year, people that lost family members and survivors, they have organized an event to memorize the people that they lost. The king and the Swedish politicians and the defense ministers and really people really high up in Swedish positions attended. What they didn't know is that the people that arranged the event, so they would present the false claims, the evidence they found afterwards, And it became this really big public event. Yeah. And everything was showed on SVT. SVT thought this would be like a closure of the chapter. People that arranged the event, they wanted to present that this is not solved yet. And there's a lot of questions that still needs to be answered. And what happened afterwards was that SVT started panicking. So I'm gonna show you what happened, and the thing is that they didn't, you can't find the original footage on SVT. They removed it, and they handled it by creating their own documentary to minimize the conspiracy, you know. Yeah, I took the clip from Sweb TV. They were the only ones that saved it. Sweb TV is a Swedish YouTube channel, and thank God they saved it, because nobody would see it if they didn't save it. I'm gonna show you the clip related to the Estonia memorial event, and then I'm gonna show you the documentary that SVT created to cover up the questions and make people that believe in the conspiracy look like they're fools, you know what I mean? Like I can't believe that they're asking these questions. Like, there must be idiots, you know what I mean? But I know, like, SVT love idiots, you know? If you look at SVT and take them seriously, you're an idiot. I'm very sorry, but you are. Now, do I know what they covered up in Estonia? No, I don't. But there's questions. You need to identify that there's really strange things going on there. It's just strange. Do I know what they covered up? No, absolutely not. Are they covering up something? Yeah, it looks like it, because the patterns of covering up are there. This is how people react when they cover things up. I'm sorry, but that's how it is. And it's very strange. They start out with the presenter, you know, just now saying like, yeah, this is a memory ceremonial of Estonia. And then they show you the rescuing during the 90s. You know, they came and rescued them. They have like a psychologist and an expert panel. And they're like, yeah, it's good to have a closure and to process the event, you know, like they're trying to get you into like to fall asleep again into their story, you know, like everything is fine, nothing to question. Look, we have experts here that we paid. You know what I mean? Like, look, anybody can be an expert. You just need to be paid. That's it. Like psychologists are kind of full of shit, you know. Narcissism when it comes to psychologists, because like you can know all these theories and get your exam and all that, but like when we judge other people and experience other people, it's always personal. Like psychologists always apply their personal experience on the human. Like, oh yeah, you're paranoid. Oh, you're narcissist. You know, it's all like they're judging people all the time. Kind of. It's like they put the people in categories, you know. And psychologists in Sweden are absolutely terrible. Because if they were good, we wouldn't have suicide and isolation and depression in Sweden. You know what I mean? Like, they're obviously terrible psychologists here. And everything is just healed with medicine, you know? Like, there's so little human connection. So here the ceremony starts. Well, the king hasn't arrived yet, but these are like really important people in the background. I don't know who they are, but obviously they don't got front seats, you know what I mean? So they can't be that important. The funny part is like the people that survived and lost families, they're like in the background behind the fences. Like, it's their ceremony. But they're not invited to sit next to the important people in Sweden. Like, I don't understand. If it's a security issue, like, that fence will protect the important people. Like, that fence looks ridiculous. Look at this fence, honestly. So yeah, we can see the king and the important people coming in now. That's the king of Sweden, that's the queen, that's the prime minister. The guy that looks like his head is upside down, that's the defense minister. Yeah, you see them all. The king, the queen, the defense minister, the prime minister. And then they go up one by one, you know, they start presenting it and what they have experienced and telling about the event. And then the king comes up and gives a speech to the people. Yeah, this was a terrible event and it's a national trauma. And it's a nice speech. I don't criticize that. It was a nice speech. And now the prime minister, this guy is like 100% off his speech, you know what I mean? His tongue is for rent, you know what I mean? Vending machine. You just put a coin in and you press the button and your drink is popping out. You just need to pick your drink. And then after that, one by one, they come up and they start presenting the evidence and the questions that are unanswered. This guy used to be a politician in Sweden, and he's really invested in investigating the Estonia incident, and he's 100% convinced that it's a cover-up. And he's now going through all the evidence, like these are the things that they stated in the beginning of the incident, but then after private investigations, they showed that it was false, and I'm not going to go through all the evidence, but it's a long list of things that are super strange, and if you're really interested in the Estonia incident, then you need to do your own research and find sources for it. It's extremely strange event. It's how they handled it, facts, like it doesn't come together. Like if you're not covering things up, you should have a clean story from start to the end. Nobody questions Titanic. You know, I mean, we all know it hit an iceberg, it sank. After the Titanic, there was new policies about how sea voyage should be done, new policies. And that's good. That's good. So we can avoid these incidents. They didn't do a proper investigation and nobody really took responsibility of the Estonia. There were no new policies created to avoid these things. And there was 800 people that just sank to the bottom of the sea in the middle of the night and just died. I mean, how horrifying isn't that? 100 meters depth, cold water in the middle of the Baltic Sea. It's terrible. I mean, when I see the pictures of like what they filmed during the accident, I mean, I'm horrified. I can't believe it defines you as a human being after you've been in an accident like that. Like you can't stop. I'll be traumatized my whole life. I would not even swim. You know what I mean? I may even have problems taking a bath. It's not a joke, like for real. I would be smelling like shit, man. I'm afraid of drinking water. It's terrible. Anyway, they're shocked. The king and the prime minister and all the important people in the state. I think they know what happened. Like they kind of know. Like they don't have proper evidence on it, but they kind of like, we suspect that real things actually went down. That's a cover up. Like they're covering something up, and you can see their reaction. They don't look happy. You know what I mean? They don't even look worried or something like that. They just look like, okay, the king, like, okay. He's like, all right. The queen, she's like, okay, this is terrible. Prime minister, he seems that he's just trying to hold back something. The defense minister, he just looks bored. He's just bored, He listens to it with a critical ear, I don't know what kind of reaction. It's strange. But the response on this event is even stranger. It's even strange. This was live on SVT. You should be able to find this. This is a memorial of the Estonia event. You can find it on SVT. Like there is an online streaming service that SVT has, so you can always go in and watch their videos. This is gone. They removed this. This is hidden. They don't want you to think that anything strange happened during the Estonia event. That everything is solved, all questions are answered, let's move on, you know what I mean? And this is a big damage to like the Swedish state and the trust in the Swedish state and the Swedish media. And they like, if you really want to get the trust back, you need to face the questions and find answers to the questions and do a proper investigation. And they didn't do that. They just like, yeah, let's forget about it now. Like, here's your answers. This is the story. And then it's like childish stories, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, that's how they always tell you a childish story that only a child would believe in. And then when you actually do an investigation yourself and look into it, you'll be like, you start having more questions, and those questions are just ignored, and they put a stamp on you like you're a moron, you're an idiot, or you're stupid, you're a conspiracy theorist, or something like that. And that's not fair. You know, like, why would you treat me as I'm stupid? I'm asking a question. Like, I thought that there was no stupid questions. Obviously there is. But if you don't answer the question, I will still be stupid. So answer my question, you know, even though it's stupid. And as I say, you can't find this on their website anymore. But there's this YouTube channel called Sweb TV that recorded it, and this is the footage I'm using. I'm using the footage from Sweb TV. So I'll put a link to their YouTube channel in the description, because thank you Sweb TV for documenting this. Like, that's really important. Like, we need to actually document how SVT and the state works. This guy is I think he's an ambassador in Estonia or something like that. Like, he has some high position. It's not some random conspiracy nut, you know what I mean? Like, he actually survived Estonia. He survived it. He was like around 20 years old, and he jumped into the water in his underwear. He thought that he would die from the cold. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Like, I could not imagine myself experiencing something like that. Like, it's terrible. It's like a horror movie, really. And he's now explaining like what he experienced. It's a miracle that he functions as a human being after that experience. Honestly, like, I really don't know how you would. And nobody took responsibility, and the people that lost their family members and survived, they never got any insurance money, or, you know what I mean? Like, nothing. They didn't get any money from it. Like, they literally were about to die, you know what I mean? I mean, I hope they got their ticket prices back, you know, on that ship. At least, you know what I mean? Like, you didn't reach the harbor, did you? You know what I mean? Please give me back my money, you know, for the ship. It sank, goddammit. I wonder if they reimbursed people on the Titanic. They'd be like, oh, all right, sorry, we didn't actually make the trip, you know? Here's your money back, you know? I mean, we lost your luggage. This is live. They can't cancel this. They can't cancel this. They want to cancel this on SVT, but they can't, because it's live. The king is there, the prime minister there. They literally open up the schedule on TV to show this. And it's live. So they can't stop it. The funny part is like when they come back to the studio, you know, because usually what happens is that they have a panel. So when they're done with the live show, they go back to the panel, and the panel kind of closes the scenes, you know, the show, telling, yeah, you know, you should think like this and you should think like that, you know, like they're telling you what to think. That's what the panel is doing, of experts. What the experts are telling you, they're telling you what to think. The people that were at the event that had all these questions, they already told you what to think, you know what I mean? Like, you should question everything. That's what they said. And what is the panel gonna say? Like, no, they're wrong. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's all gonna sound conspiratorial. So they end the show by saying, yeah, thank you very much for watching the show, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like, thinking, but look at her face. Like, she's like, we fucked up. Checkmate. You sank my battleship. That face, man. That face, man. She looks like she needs to go to the toilet and take a shit right now. You know what I mean? Like, it's really uncomfortable. She can't wait for this show to end, you know. Now I'm going to show you how they countered this event and the questions they had. I will show you now. If you go on SVT website, svtplay.se, and search Estonia, you will find all their Estonia related documents. And you find two documents. One is called the Hour Estonia Sank, and that one is Estonia and the Myths. You know what I mean? So the Hour Estonia Sank is the retelling of the events of Estonia, and the Myths of Estonia is battling the conspiracies that are around Estonia, and then they have like psychologists and theorists that they paid, and that's the one we're gonna focus on, because the other one, like retelling the story of Estonia, is kind of uninteresting for me, because it's like, yeah, like you can hear that story from anywhere, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many retellings of that story and what happened and how it happened, and there's so many people that have their own version to tell, because there's so many survivors. So that's, for me, is not interesting, but the Estonia and the myths are more interesting, because that's where they counter all the conspiracies, and that's what they use to counter this ceremony. So we're going to look into that one. So now they're starting out by showing the old reporting. And do you recognize this guy? This is the pseudo historian that states that the Swedish people were black, you know what I mean? So this is the guy, man. He back. The thing with this guy is like, and that's really sad. I actually have empathy towards him. I know it doesn't sound like it, but I actually do. He lost both his parents in Estonia, and it's terrible. Your parents are so important in your life, and when you lose them, it's like you feel like you lose half of your world. Like, it's actually horrible, 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 and it will stay with you your whole life. So your parents, your mother and your father, are really important. But he takes such an angle into this that I don't appreciate that. I don't appreciate how they use his pain into covering up the event. But he started out by showing like how things happen. Like, this is Estonia, and these are the people, these are the investigations they did. And the problem with this guy is, like, he's all emotional about it, and they're using his emotions to cover up the Estonia incident. The new information about Estonia has popped up all the time. And it's really important that these questions are getting answered, properly, because they didn't do a good job from beginning to answer all the questions and a proper investigation, right? But because this man lost his parents, every time the Estonia event is shown in the media, he gets all these bad feelings back, and how he lost his parents, and the pain and the sorrow and all these things, right? And that's understandable, but he wants, like, everybody else to empathize with him and feel his pain, and that we should just move on and not question things. And so what they're doing is, like, using his trauma to put it on you, so it's your trauma, and then you should feel the way he feels. So that's how that works. It's like it's a hypnosis. So they hypnotize you with his feelings and make you feel it, and then you should feel bad about talking about it and questioning, because you're hurting his feelings, you know what I mean? And that's just like, dude, go to a psychologist. I'm sorry, like, but if you can't live a normal life after your parents died 20 years ago, and you still feel like you break down as a human being, you need a psychologist, man. And I'm saying that from love. I'm not saying that from hate. I really ain't. I'm really not. I'm actually doing this for love, because I do care for how he feels. It's not fun losing your parents. I do care. But you need real help, man. We can't all now put our head into the sand and pretend that there's nothing to question here, and this angle the media is using to shut down the Estonia event. Like, we can't do that. It's strange. Like, like, even now they're handling it in a very strange way. They're doing everything they can to handle this Estonia event and build trust back with the people, except answering the people's questions. Like, that's the only thing they're not doing. They're not investigating it properly, and they're not answering your questions. They're just like, yeah, you shouldn't talk about it. Everything is fine. Don't worry. Like, feel his tears, and I do, because of course I'm a human. Like, of course I do feel his tears. It's terrible. I do feel the pain and tears of everybody that experienced the trauma of Estonia. It's terrible. It's a terrible event. But we still need to know what happened and question it and talk about it, because we don't want this to happen again. We don't want this to happen again. And if we're not facing that, and we're not facing it, it's going to happen again. And there's going to be a cover up again. And they're going to handle it like that. And they're going to treat people like they're idiots. And that's not nice. I'm getting real emotional about this because it's just not nice. Imagine if I was on that boat. It's horrible. It's horrible. Like, it's shocking. It's shocking. It really is shocking. This guy is an ex-politician. He was a politician, and now he's privately investigating the Estonia event. And it's like serious stuff. Like, it's serious stuff. He's not the goof. He's taking this thing really seriously. He's looking at all theories and investigating what happened and trying to find the true facts, because the fact is that they were hiding them. They were hiding the facts because nobody wanted to take responsibility, and nobody wanted to pay any fines, and nobody wanted to lose money and reputation. So nobody really took responsibility, and it's incredibly sad. And because nobody took responsibility, people had to pay with their lives. That's incredibly sad. They suspect like the front fell off on the boat, and that's how it started getting water into the ship. You know, some people say like, oh, then maybe it was crashed into the submarine, but that sounds a little bit conspiratorial. Or like it crashed into something, you know. Or maybe there was an explosion in the ship, like a bomb or something that opened up the side of the boat. They suspected that the military was maybe smuggling something in secret. And that there is proof for that. That's the thing. Like they found documents that show that they were smuggling military material, but they denied it before, you know. So like these things has been going on for a long time. Like they deny it, then you find evidence for it, and it's like it's been going on like this whole time. Like, if you're gonna be honest from beginning. Don't screw around. You know what I mean? Like because if somebody catches you, you just destroy your reputation even more. So you can't be angry at people for suspecting that you're lying and not trusting you when you literally are lying and can't be trusted on your answers. You know what I mean? Like, and then you're gonna put that responsibility on the people. Like, oh, I can't believe the people can't trust me. Like, come on, man, stop lying to me. You lied from the start. You know what I mean? And that's why people don't listen to the state anymore and the media. Because why would you? Why would you when you're obviously lying? Now they're looking at the real one because they saved it. Like it fell off. I think that was like 2 kilometers away or something like that. And then the ship continued moving, you know. So it's all legit, you know. And some say that, yeah, it could be maybe somebody welded off or something. Like it's weird. Like everything is like, they don't really have a good theory of how this incident happened. They kind of have a theory, but we can't like fully prove it, and people can't trust it because the state has lied so many times and people like catch them on their lies. So people just stop trusting the state, which is terrible. Like I don't understand how you can handle a situation like this so badly. Like it's a national trauma. This will be written in your history, you know. If you collect a lot of these events in your history, these national traumas, and you show that you can't be trusted when national traumas happen, people will not believe in you anymore. And then your government falls apart. Your media falls apart, your government, your institutions. Nobody's trusting you. What are you doing? That is the most important thing. When you have an institution or a government, you need the people's trust. If you don't have trust, you can't have nothing. And then this guy, he did, you know, it was illegal to actually go down there and film yourself, the Estonia wreckage. It's like you could go to jail or pay fine. Like it's insane. Like I understand that they wanted to stop grave robbers, because there is grave robbers. You go down there, you pick up a piece of Estonia, then you sell it on eBay or something, you know. Like I understand that part. Like I'm not gonna be all, I'm trying to look at it from a neutral perspective, you know. Yeah, he found a hole in the wreckage, and I don't see that as legit, because like there was holes everywhere when that ship crashed. So I can't say that his hole was something special, you know. Like the ship landed on its side, and when it crashed, everything smashes. It's like, so what? You found a hole. There's holes everywhere. The best part would be if they actually lifted the ship from beginning. Swedish state throws their money on bullshit projects all the time. They literally fail with immigration. They're gonna fail with investing in the military. They fail with that battery factory they invested in. If we count all the money they threw into the toilet, it costs nothing to lift this ship out of the harbor. I mean, they did that with the Vasa ship. The Vasa ship, they lifted a whole ship from like the 1800s. No, wait, when was it? 1700s, 1600s? I don't know. It was an old pirate ship. They lifted that ship out of the harbor in Stockholm. And then they built a museum and put that shit inside. And now they're making money out of it. Like, they could have done that with Estonia. I know it's a horrible accident and stuff. It would teach people about taking responsibility over the ships that you sail. That's a very good lesson. They shouldn't have died for nothing. People that have done mistakes in history, we learn from that. And then we move on and make sure that we respect those people's mistakes and people that lost their lives to teach us good lessons. You see Titanic? They didn't have enough boats, right? They didn't have enough boats for all the people. If this ship sank, now it's a law. Now you have to have enough boats for everyone. That's a disaster. How can you not have enough lifeboats for the people that are on the boat? And they went like, it's unsinkable. No, it was not. These are old people. They thought they were gods, with this world. They like have big mustaches and stuff, colonizing poor countries and stealing their resources and turning them into slaves and stuff. So it's like, calm down, motherfucker. Like, you're ego tripping. Anyway, have you tried to ask a politician a question? You've seen them on TV. You ask them a question, they cannot give you a clean answer. They can't recognize reality. They just live in their narcissistic bubble. Like, how can you even trust them? Like, honestly, like, that's what they want, right? You want my vote? Do you want me to vote for you? They make me trust you. Don't lie. If I catch you on your lie or your reality don't make sense, tell me that I'm right in something. Like, what is this? Like, you're higher or you're levitating higher than me? Like, you're closer to God or something? Like, what's going on with you here? They never say, oh, you know what? I did a mistake. They're always right. They're always perfect. Like, it's like they're not even human. You know what I mean? Like, what human doesn't make mistakes? Honestly, what human doesn't make? If you make mistakes and then you go tell a human, I'm sorry, I made a mistake, and these are the mistakes I made, and I will never do that again, then you trust that person. But if you keep on doing the same mistake, I'm not going to trust you. You know what I mean? Like, you need to improve. You know what I mean? Like, I can give you one chance, two chances, but a third chance to do it, I'm start considering to switching my trust to somebody else. This guy is a little bit funny, like he says like, oh, there will always be a conspiracies. Or, like, we should now accept that there's conspiracies around this event. Like, no, I'm sorry. We need to accept that there's questions that need to be answered, and we should minimize those questions by answering those questions. And if there's other questions that appear, then we need to build trust again to our media and the government. And the way to do it is to actually answer the questions that the people have. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just accept. This guy is just like, always gonna always be conspiracies around the Estonia event. Like, yeah, because you don't answer questions. That's why. And it's like that. Like, they like, and of course it's gonna be like wild conspiracy theories around things, because you're letting people think for themselves. Like, we can't trust you. If you did a proper research and give us the answers, then fine. Like I can trust those answers, but you don't. So of course people are gonna have wild theories. Like, and they should. You should have the wildest theories, and you should explore every theory. And then in the end, we will find the answer. It has happened in many events like this where they try to cover up. Like, people just like came up with wild theories, and then like the community explores it, and then you realize like, oh shit, this is real. Do you remember Alex Jones? Alex Jones talked about there was an island where famous people came and had sex with children, and they filmed it so that they can control these politicians and these powerful people and the elites. And we were like, "What the fuck are you talking about, Alex Jones?" And then the fucking Epstein Island came out. Like, come on, man! Like, this is the most bizarre shit. This is so bizarre. Like, are you telling me there's an island where they're fucking kids? Like, I'm sorry for using that language, but like, okay, are you telling me there's an island where people sleep with kids? Ew, that's real. That's real. And then you have the P. Diddy thing? That's real. That's real. P. Diddy is a real thing. Epstein Island is a real thing. And people question it for a long time. You know, a long time people question P. Diddy? That he was behind killing Tupac and stuff. They've been talking about this forever. Since Tupac got killed. They've been talking and talking and talking. And this been going around the community. Like, it's so believable that people like, yeah, he must have, you know? And then when the internet came and stuff like that, and people actually could communicate better and share information, so boom, man, he's now in jail. He's now in jail. Like, at least I think he's in jail. I'm not sure, but he's going down, bro. Epstein, he got killed in jail, for God's sakes. So don't tell me not to question things. Don't tell me not to question things. And don't be like, yeah, it's normal. Like, and the way he talks about it is like, people that question the Estonia event is kind of they're sick, you know. It's like a clinical sickness or something. You know? He's like completely understands it. You know, we should accept these people. You know, like he's not judging you, but he's judging you. You know, like. And it's just, no, you can't do that, bro. Like, I understand he has his theories. Now, you can believe in his theory. Everybody can believe in whatever they want. But you can't put people down like this. People that have experienced Estonia, like they were on the boat while they're sinking and survived. They were in the cold water, fighting for their lives not to die. There were people that froze to death when they jumped into the water. Like, it was horrible. They question it. How about showing respect to them? Forget about me. Like, I didn't experience it. Forget everybody else that wasn't on it. But the people that were on the boat. How about respecting them? All these people that lost their families. Answer the damn questions. That's all I'm saying. Answer the damn questions. You have disrespected the people that passed away and the people that survived, and national trust. You destroyed national trust, and it doesn't make sense to me. Why would you handle something so clumsy and destroy national trust? And this is going to be written in your history, and it's going to be a stain on your history, you know. And every time you do a mistake, people are going to pull that back. And then it's going to be like America, you know. Like, the people don't trust their state in USA or their media. Like, it's done. They're done. They have collected too much shit and too much cover-ups for you to trust what they're saying. And when Trump came out, everything blew up. I know that Trump is a little bit silly, man. And he's clumsy and everything. But that's the gold. That's the thing that makes him gold. When Trump came to power, everything fell apart. Everything fell apart. All the lies were revealed. The way he speaks is so clumsy, you know. When Trump speaks, he reveals the game. He reveals the game. Not that doesn't only reveal his own game, but also reveals the game of the politicians he ran against, you know. And it just fell apart. And this is what's going to happen in Sweden too. This is what's going to happen in Sweden too. Like, this is going to happen everywhere around the world. Like, you can't stop information. You can't stop information. You can't stop the truth. You need to create this bubble, you know, that people live in. And they were able to do that back in the days with radio, newspapers, TV. But now when the internet came, we can all share. You know? You can suppress us, you know. Let the game begin. You know what I mean? Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, and the world is on our side. It's on the people's side. That's it. The elites are losing power, and the lies are coming out. Yeah, this is like his theory. It's like, first there's a pattern. I don't know. He's presenting his theory here, you know. And then there's like he used group theory and and perspectives, and it's interesting. Like, I'm not saying that his theory is not valid in some way. Like, it is valid in some way, but that's not what's going on here. Like, you can look at them and you can say, yeah, this is what's happening, this is the process and stuff, and it's like, okay, that's cool, that's fine, like, that's the process. But are you going to put a label on them? Are you going to call them conspiracy theorists? Is that what you're going to do, man? You're not gonna take these people seriously. They're just sick. They're just sick people, you know. And it's just typical mentality in Sweden, man. Like, if you're different, they throw you away and they put the label on you and then laugh at you and then they shit on you because it's based on ego. It's all ego. It's not love. If you have love, you care about people that are weaker than you or outside of the society, you know. You know, because these people have been hurt, you know, like they have lost trust in you. That's serious. That's serious. Like, if you're in a relationship with somebody and the person you're in a relationship loses your trust, dude, and he's reasonable, like, you have lied and they lost their trust in you, you need to take responsibility, you know. You need to take responsibility of your own actions and build that trust back. And you can only build that trust back by being honest and answering the questions. But, you know, whatever. Like, okay, nice theory, bro. Like, cool, you know. I ain't saying that this man is not intelligent. He is intelligent, but he's not coming down to the roots of the things, you know. They end the whole documentary with like their theories, and then they end the whole cover up documentary, which what it is, honestly, like, it's a cover up documentary. And I'm not saying it's all false, but the narrative they're taking, that's just so false and so dishonest, you know what I mean? And they covering up with this historian, you know. Oh my god, I feel so sad for this man. Like, I don't know, like, I don't want to, as I said, I don't want to put him down. I actually have like care and love for this man. Like, I'm not a bad person, you know. I care about people. But this man is like lost both his parents, and that's sad, you know. That's terrible. But to be honest, like, I think this guy got paid to be on this documentary. I think he got paid. And I can't prove it, but that's what I think, you know. He got paid on the first documentary, like the history of Sweden. Like, why wouldn't they pay him now? Like, why don't you come here? We'll pay you. We'll film you and you share your story with us. Like, why is that unrealistic? Of course, I would say 90% he's paid. So he literally is making money out of his trauma right now, like, which is like weird, you know what I mean? Like, this shit is weird, you know. So he's making like money out of it, but not big money. I'm not saying that, like, you know, I don't want to go like that. He has trauma, and people need to like let it go so that he can move on. This is the egoism behind this man, so that he can move on. And it's like, bro, the world can't adapt to your feelings, you know what I mean? That if I'm gonna be real with him, like, because he's a grown man, like, he's older than me. You want the world to adapt to your feelings? Come on, man. You got the money from the historical documentary about Sweden and this, probably. Take that money, go to a psychologist and work things out, you know, by maybe, you know, you don't even need to go to a psychologist. Like, buy 10 grams of weed, you know what I mean? Like, 10 grams of weed, smoke for a month, and just paint your traumas. Like, do something, like, do some kind of trauma healing, spiritual, psychological thing. Like, move on in life, bro. It's been 20 years. It's 20 years, man. 20 years, like, dude, I lost my parents and I lost my father, and that wasn't a long time ago, and I'm doing pretty good. Like, think, it takes time to get over your parents, you know. It takes time. I mean, you don't do it in a year or two or five, you know what I mean? But if somebody mentions my mother or my father or something, I don't break it down, man. Like, come on, man. Move on. That's what life is about. You can't just be stuck in your trauma. And now I just feel like if I'm going to be real honest, it's kind of like he's using it as a weapon now. You know, he's using his trauma, his victimhood as a weapon, and that's a very common thing. Like, it's like feelings before facts, you know, and that's the world that we developed into, and it's not okay. It's not okay. Like, facts are before feelings, and then we need to mature into this world. That's what it's all about. Like, when you're born into this world as a child, you need to grow up. You need to grow up. And the way you grow up is to face the world and accept the world. Mature emotionally. You can't live in Disneyland, man. You can't be like, no, you need to put that Mickey Mouse suit on and pretend that you're Mickey Mouse. No, I'm not gonna be your Mickey Mouse, you know, like you need to mature, man. I'm sorry. Like I'm saying it from love. I really am. Like, because it's like, even though the thing is, like, if you have traumas and you're not facing your traumas and healing your traumas, you're still gonna have those traumas in the background. They're still gonna affect you in everything you do in life. That's how it is. You need to really heal from them and move on in your life, because those traumas can then jump on your children and your family and your friends. Like, they develop in such a weird way through behavior, you know. And it's your responsibility as a human to heal those traumas, because you will, when you heal your traumas, you heal the traumas of your society. And if somebody else has those traumas, you can be a helping hand. And that's the right way of doing it. That this way that he's handling it is, that's not correct. We should all be quiet because you can cry. And you know, I respect your tears, but I don't see any tears here, man. You know, I think that you're using it as a weapon, you know? And that's sad. He's looking like, what is, are you still looking into the harbor after 20 years and thinking about the boat that sank? You know what I mean? Like, what is this? Like, what is this? They're like, yeah, yeah, sit on the bench here and then look into the water, and like, we'll film you like you're thinking about it right now. Like, you're completely destroyed as a human being, you know? And this production, they don't go like this. They're not honest with him. They don't go like, you know what? I know a psychologist that can help you, or some therapeutical guy, or somebody that can sell you some weed or something. Like, they don't do that, you know what I mean? They just let him sit there in his pain, and like, they're like, oh yeah, thank you for the video. We'll get back to you when we need more trauma to film. You know what I mean? Like, it's abuse. Like, SVT is abusing this man. This man, you know. He also mentions, like, you know, I think it's like a threat to the Swedish democracy, and the trust in the Swedish system, that people question Estonia. And I do agree. I do agree. It is a threat, because, but the way to counter that threat is to, as I said, answer the damn questions. Take these people seriously. Your traumas are your traumas. Let's be real. Let's be grown-ups. Let's be men about this. You need to take responsibility of your own nonsense, and I need to take responsibility of my own nonsense, and I need to take ownership of that, and I need to clean up, because I can't clean up your soul, and you can't clean up my soul. But we can help each other and support each other with it. But we need to take our own responsibility regarding that. Like, I'm not gonna take on your trauma and now your feelings on my feelings. Like, it doesn't work like that. Like, you know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They're not ready to taking on my feelings, you know. If I came with my feelings, so he would not take responsibility of that. I don't think so. I don't think so. I never met this man. I never met this man, but I don't think that would happen. Like, from what I know about Sweden, is like, nobody cares about nobody's feelings here, you know what I mean? Everybody's isolating and full of their shit, you know. And that's all I gotta say. I'm sad. I feel sad for him. If he really feels like that traumatic about it, like, he needs to get some proper help. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. I actually saying it because I care. I do care, bro. If you watch this and you see this, I care for you, bro. I wish you and me can sit down and talk, because I would love to talk to you. And I have questions to you, you know, and I would not attack you or criticize you that way. I would have proper questions, and we would have a respectful conversation. I would love to talk to you. And I want to hear your perspective on the historical documentary you did, and also this Estonia documentary you did. because I think that's fascinating. And look at his parents seem super sweet. Look, that's his mom, that's his dad, and they seem to be a super sweet, nice family, you know? Nice parents, you know, regular Swedish people. And it makes me sad. I'm sorry that you lost your mom and dad, honestly. I say that from my heart. I just wish you, I wish you get over your traumas. If you really feel that badly, man, I really wish you get over your traumas. Because, I mean, it's normal. Like, don't take me wrong. A lot of grown people, yeah, they cover up their traumas and they pretend that they're not there, you know, and it's normal because we learn to cover up our nonsense. But what we need to do, we need to go back and feel again and heal again. You know, that's how we get over traumas. Feel and heal and cry a little bit. But he looks like traumatized or something. Like, what's wrong with him? Like, he can't be that traumatized. Come on, man. Look at him. He looks like he's traumatized or something. Like, look at how he stares and like, you're that traumatized, bro? Like, you're still thinking about it right now? I don't know what more to say. I think they're still covering things up and they're not taking people seriously that are asking questions. And I feel really bad for the victims and people that lost their family members. And in this documentary, they didn't show anybody else's emotions except this historical guy's emotions because they didn't want you to focus on their emotions. They wanted you to focus on, yeah, it's bad that we talk about it. And everybody that questions Estonia are hurting people. Like, they're bad people, you know. If you question Estonia, you're a bad person. You know? And you're not, man. You just want it to never happen again. That's the fact, you know. You think people question Estonia because they want to hurt people? I mean, that is insane, you know, like that is insane. That's an insane perspective. Of course they don't want to hurt people. They don't want this to happen again. So I feel, I mean, this just shows that that's what it is, you know, it is what it is. It's a machine, man. It's just continue on with its propaganda. It's targeting you emotionally. It's putting people in categories and demonizing them. It's like all, you know, this is classic SVT, you know? This is classic Swedish state media. They're good, you're bad. That's all you gotta know. And I do feel bad that he lost his family, his mother and father. That's terrible. But SVT is still garbage. You know? That's it.
If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe for more and drop a comment. I'd love to hear what you think.